Hey guys, Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. Today I've got a thanks, you're the best card for you. It's the thank you card that's going out with my Christmas Scotty Stamp-A-Stack packets. Spoiler alert. And it's also my Stampin' Connect 4. So if you are not familiar with the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social, it's our Facebook group. Every Thursday in our group, I issue a challenge, whether it's Stampin' Connect 4 or an Inspiration Kitchen, or every other Thursday we play Mystery Card. There's always some fun inspiration, games, and like-minded crafters in the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social. So this week, Thursday, I posted Stampin' Connect 4 Fall Edition, and the game is to connect 4 either vertical or horizontal or diagonal, 4 corners, or postage stamp. So you can do any of those. Connect 4 and make a project. I did my thank you cards for the next Stamp-A-Stack class, and I connected this vertical row here. Stamp set from Paper Pumpkin, fussy cut a sentiment, use a border or background die, and Mary Merlot. The challenge is issued on Thursday. You have until the next Tuesday to play and share, and eligible participants who play in that Thursday through Tuesday timeframe are eligible for Prize Patrol. We issue a prize every week, or 2 prizes every week to eligible participants. Now the challenges stay in the Craft Social, so there's always inspiration to be had in the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social. All right, let's stamp our card base and flowers to start. My card base is Mossy Meadow. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, so a standard card base. And we're going to use Polished Pink, Mary Merlot, there's our Connect 4, and Mossy Meadow. My stamp set today is Art Gallery. It's been a little while since I've used it. I love this floral. And we're also going to use the coordinating Floral Gallery dies. All right, let's take this bunch of flower images from the stamp set, and we're going to ink Mary Merlot and stamp the background of our card. Give it some visual interest. So we'll do one up. Oh, let me see if my designer series paper is going to cover that. I think it's going to be fine. I might have to put my paper just a bit higher, but I'm not going to worry about that because we are stamping the background and it's going to get covered. Let's do the bottom here. And slide that aside. Next, I've got basic white cardstock, and we're going to stamp our flower image. It's a 2-step flower. I like to take the detail, the darker color usually the darker color is the details, the shadows. I like to stamp them first. So we're going to do Mary Merlot for our shadows, for our details. And then for our base, our flower base shape, we're going to do Polished Pink. I find it's easier to do the 2-step stamping, to line it up when you do the shadows and then line up the base over. I also like the way the color blends. It's not a lot, but the Polished Pink over the Mary Merlot just softens the color just a little bit. Now the leaves, we're going to do Mossy Meadow. Here's our stem and leaf. And thanks. This is the greeting that we're going to fussy cut. So there's our next connection in Connect 4. And this thanks, with its coordinating you're the best, is from Paper Pumpkin. This is from Perfectly Picturesque. I think it was a 2016 Paper Pumpkin. I'm going to stamp another one of those thanks because my S is a little light, and I'm going to pick the best one. All right, now I'm going to fussy cut the best one. All right, so that's my little stamp set. We're going to do thanks and you're the best. Let's do you're the best on the tag. I cut my tags ahead of time, one from Mossy Meadow, one from Basic White, and these are the smallest of these little bracket top tags from the Tailor Made Tags die set. we're going to stamp in Mossy Meadow. So we're going to have a Mary Merlot Mossy Meadow two-tone greeting, two-part greeting, right along the bottom edge of the tag centered. You're the best. All right, I think that's all of our stamping. Let's clear away our ink pads, and we're going to die cut our flower. Got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to pop my little flowers on there. We're going to cut it out using the Floral Gallery Dies. Now, I've also got this little image, this little postage edge, and that is from Floral Gallery also. We're going to cut that from Soft Seafoam. All right, let's give that a crank. That out of the way, and now we have our soft seafoam postage edge rectangle and our flowers and stem. We're going to fussy cut our greeting, and I think that my best image was the third one that I stamped. Sometimes I find with these stamps that the more times you ink and stamp it, gets kind of like primed. You know, there's a layer of ink kind of priming the stamps. You get better images. Sometimes my first couple are throwaways. What is it, like crepes? Where the first crepe is always thrown away. Sometimes that's how I feel about some solid stamp images. All right, so we're going to fussy cut a sentiment. Here's our thanks. We're going to just bubble cut this out. It's so trendy right now to bubble cut your sentiments. And so we're going to go ahead and just buzz that out. That is one of the other squares on our Connect 4. Okay, there's our thanks greeting. Let's bring our card base back in here. My designer series paper is a wash and beauty. Again, I needed to get that Mary Merlot in here, and this floral had Mary Merlot in polished pink and Calypso Coral. I thought, what a combination with the Mossy Meadow and then this watercolor plaid. This is 2 by 3 and this is 1.5 by 3 3/4. Let's go ahead and get those glued down with some liquid glue. Leave a little edge when you're gluing down your narrow panel, and then we're going to overlap them slightly. Now we're going to take our soft seafoam. This is where our saying around kitchen table stamper, crafty girls do what they want, comes in handy, because the last box to connect on my Connect 4 is use a background or a border die. So what I did was I used the die from the Floral Gallery stamp set, the little postage edge, as a border. And so that's how I interpreted that one. Let's go ahead and adhere our stem with some liquid glue and our flower with some dimensionals. Then our greeting, let's go ahead and begin to assemble. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue along the bottom of our basic white greeting tag, and we're going to mat with the Mossy Meadow tag, and then tie up a bow with some linen thread. I love the texture that this brings and a little bit of neutral, natural fiber. So we're going to loop from the front to the back. And then with linen thread, I do tie an anchor knot. I don't with ribbon. Then we're going to loop, swoop over the top, tuck fingertip to fingertip, and pull. Loop, swoop, tuck, and pull. Perfect bows every time. And there's our little loopy, kind of wily linen thread bow. I love it. Let it do what it wants to do. Cut it away, trim the tail, and let's adhere that with a little liquid glue. We want to see a peek of the designer series paper, but not cover too much of the leaves. And then our thanks, we're going to add that with some dimensional scraps. I love these edges. They come in really handy. All right, so we got some little bits. And we'll just pop that up over "You're the best." Thanks, you're the best. Oh, let's level that out a little bit. Stick that guy down. All right, we're almost done. We have now Connected 4 paper pumpkin stamp set, fussy cut a sentiment, use a border or background die. Well, we used a die as a border. And Mary Merlot. Let's embellish with some of these brushed brass butterflies. I just love these. I think they are the best embellishment that Stampin' Up! Has come up with. They're original. They're something special. They really add some gorgeous texture. The shape is adorable. These are just, they're my favorite. I'm going to add to right up from the thanks here, kind of under the flower. And there is our thanks. You're the best. Connect 4 card. Here's the same card in a different color palette. A little bit, both of them I think very appropriate for fall. This one is done with the Rustic Harvest designer series paper. The flower is Calypso Coral and Cajun Craze, and then Cajun Craze for thanks. Everything else the same. Oh, this is Sahara Sand for my border. I'll include a picture of that on the project sheet at the blog, kitchentablestamper.com. Click below where it says project details for the printable project sheet. If you've got any questions, email marisa@kitchentablestamper.com. And to shop Stampin' Up! 24/7, buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.